Hey students, today we are wrapping up our study on the fruit of the Spirit. And today, I honestly, if we're going to be real with each other, I think today's is probably one of the hardest, not the hardest, ones to kind of grasp and really live out. And here's the thing, quick thing to say before we even get started, is the whole point of the fruit of the Spirit is that we have the Spirit to help us and guide us. And so today, we're going to talk about how we see that. But as we've kind of done all these things the past weeks before, we always have a fruit that kind of correlates with the other ones. Now, today's is a strawberry, and I don't think this would any be fitting than any other ones ever because, I'm going to be honest, strawberries is my absolute favorite fruit. And so when I see this, I have little to no self-control to just want to sit here and just eat all these strawberries all the time, right? And it's a reality, especially whenever we're hangry. And yes, hangry is a real word. In 2018, Webster Dictionary said it's a word now. When we get hangry and we just want something right now, it's all we can focus on, and that's the one thing we want to do, right? But those are different distractions in our life. But God has called us to have this self-control. I think the best way we can see that is, what would Jesus do, right? The famous bracelet, WWJD. And we see that in Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. And we're going to read that together and see what Jesus does when he's tempted and has self-control. So it says, when Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil, after he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. Then the tempter approached him and said, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. He answered, it is written, man must not live on bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Let's stop there for a second. Now, Jesus is hungry. He has fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. He had not eaten anything. He was starving. Remember, because Jesus is not just 100% God, he's 100% man. He was hungry. And here is the devil tempting him to make the stone into bread. But what does Jesus respond with? He responds with the word. He responds with a passage out of the Old Testament. Let's keep reading. He says in verse 5, and the devil took him to the holy city, had him stand on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will give his angels orders concerning you, and they will support you with their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Jesus told him, it is also written, do not test the Lord your God. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. And he said to him, I will give you all these things if you fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said to him, go away, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve only him. Then the devil left him, and the angels came and began to serve him. So we see in this that there was 3 different occasions that the devil tried to tempt Jesus. And every single time, even when the devil tried to use his own word against him, how did Jesus respond? With God's word. And that is the only way that we can have self-control, y'all, is whenever we understand and we have the Spirit with us and we understand God's word. Jesus had every right in this time to, even really do what the devil said. He knew it was to come. Jesus knows all things. Everything is through him. He knew what his future would hold. And still, and even then, he had self-control to be able to make the decision and have the response as the Lord had called him to do. And so that's my question and my challenge for you today. How are you responding to the things the world throws at us? We know that our world is still a little bit of a chaotic time as we are still embarking in this pandemic, right? Nothing is really ever the same anymore. And I don't think it's going to be for a little bit of time if we can be honest with each other. So how do you respond to those things? What can y'all talk about as a family today of how you can help each other and help stay accountable to staying firm and to having self-control against the chaos and the craziness of the world? All right, hope you'll have a great week. I'll see y'all later.